Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I'm going to go over a story titled, My Wife is Constantly Sleeping with Her Colleague After We Opened Our Marriage, and I'm Starting to Regret It. And a shout out to Joel for sending in this story. And guys, this story is about a guy, a husband, who's 31, married for like 6 years, and made the colossal mistake of agreeing to an open marriage, and ultimately redeems himself in some capacity when he finally has enough and sends her crying self-packing. But good Lord Almighty, does he have to go through a lot of pain to realize this is a really dumb idea. Essentially, this is a story of a couple nincompoops, but one less stupid. But anyhow, guys, as you're going to see, as I point this out 1,000 times over, open marriages don't work. And if your wife brings this up, it's not. She doesn't love you. She doesn't want to spice up the marriage. She doesn't love you so much that she's willing to give you away. She doesn't care. You're no doubt just a paycheck and all that. And probably she just wants to rub it into usually CUCK guys. And let me tell you guys, this first part of the story, you'll be smacking him as much as I am. But in the end, thank the Lord, he wakes up a little bit and we have a happier ending here. Starts off, he says, here, my wife, a 33-year-old female, and I, a 31-year-old male, have been married 6 years. Our relationship has been strong, and our sex life was great. There is no way your relationship has been strong, bro, given how this is going. You're kidding yourself. We generally love each other and have amazing chemistry. No, you don't. A few months ago, she started talking a lot about her new colleague, like how good-looking he is, how funny he is, etc., and last month, during a team building trip, she got drunk and texted me saying she really wanted to sleep with him. That's not quite the text he was expecting. He was expecting like a good night, honey thing. Well, obviously they have an open marriage, hence the thing here. I was surprised, but I appreciate her honesty. Instead of cheating, she asked for my permission, and I said yes. Smack! Even though they have an open marriage, I'm still smacking him. Who would do this? After they slept together, we talked about it and agreed to open our marriage with one rule. Well, they obviously, backtrack here, they had talked about opening the marriage before. Well, now this is officially it. With one rule. Each of us could have one person on the side. I haven't acted on my side yet, but my wife has been seeing her colleague constantly. Imagine that. What great timing. It's way easier for a woman, as long as she's remotely attractive. Even if she's not that attractive, some guy wants to sleep with her. For a guy, it's a lot harder to get regulars. Last week, and they even went on a 2-day trip together, and she said they barely left the bedroom. She also casually tells me details like giving him BJs in his office room at work, or how she stayed with him until midnight yesterday, and she had sex with him multiple times, including backdoor action. She's actually telling him that. And was this their rules to report the details? Personally, I think she's trying to CUCK him. What does that say about her and her affection towards this guy? And he's allowing this shit? But these guys do this. Even though I gave her permission, I'm starting to feel really weird and uncomfortable how often and intentionally this is happening. I'm not sure if I'm jealous, insecure, or if we move too fast with this whole arrangement. Smack! It doesn't make you insecure to have a problem with this dude. You still think that she loves you? Does this sound like anybody that loves their guy? Don't worry, in part 2, he wakes up a bit. Has anybody been in a similar situation? No, dude. Most of us have not been in this situation because we're not boneheads. How do you deal with these feelings when your partner is much more active in the open relationship than you are? Smack yourself? I don't know. He also says, then a little edit here. He says, thank you for all your replies. There were a lot of questions, so I'll clear things up. First of all, this didn't come out of nowhere. We have been discussing opening marriage for years now. We agreed that we didn't want random hookups with different people all the time. Instead, we would choose one specific person to see on the side. So they were talking about this years ago. They've only been married 6 years, so this has been years they've been discussing this. That tells me the second she got her ring and they said I do, and she got the absolute certainty that she's got him, let's talk about opening the marriage. When my wife started talking about her coworker, I jokingly said a couple times, I guess you found your person. Smack. Dude, really? And she would laugh and drop the topic. So when she texted me from the team building event and asked for permission, I already had the background in mind. That's why I said yes. Who could do this? I will never understand. We wanted to open the marriage because we love each other deeply and have great chemistry, but we were both curious about adding some spice and new experiences to our SCX life. That's not the kind of spice I would want, knowing my woman's getting plowed by some other dude. Guarantee you, her lover is getting way more action activities than this guy was. I just don't picture her giving this guy regular BJs or the Hershey Highway action. No. When it actually happened, she wasn't planning to tell me any details. Oh, that's real honest of her. I'm the one starting asking questions because I thought hearing about it might turn me on. Smack, dude. So he is a CUCK. Ugh. Dude, I ain't feeling bad for you. Instead of making me feel sad and uneasy, she noticed I was asking, so she thought it was okay to keep sharing. That's why I heard everything like office stuff, the back door action, and the 2-day trip where they barely left the bed, etc. So maybe she wasn't going to tell him, but he wanted to hear it because, really, dude? The 2-day trip was the moment it really hit me. That's when I started losing respect for myself. Bro, I would have been. You should have been losing respect for yourself a lot before this whole thing went down. Now I'm at a point where I don't want to continue the open stuff. Well, it's about time. I read your comments, and yes, I need to be honest with her about how I'm feeling. I'm going to talk to her as soon as possible. We love each other and respect each other, and I'm not thinking about divorce, as some suggested. I just want to close this chapter and fix things with her. There is no fixing things. She doesn't love you, doesn't respect you, man. But you can try to get back some of your self-respect and get rid of her and dig down deep as to why you allowed this in the first place. Now to the update. So for those of you that are still here and haven't jumped ship because this guy made you crazy, he says, it's over, guys. Thank you, Lord. Thank God. I didn't want to write here again as the comment section under my previous posts were full of insults, mockery, and accusations. Dude, you can't put a story like this online, on Reddit, and say that you actually wanted to hear the details and everything and not get insults and mockery and things like that. What do you expect how people are going to react, man? But I have your back now that you're waking up to reality. But thankfully, this time, a lot of people were really kind and shared some of their own stories. Some tried to help. Some just told me that if you ever need to talk with someone, I am here. Well, brother, if you ever need a smack upside the head to wake up, I am here. And now I still get DMs from strangers checking in. For everybody who supported me and wrote a lot of good wishes, thank you guys. I really appreciate it and can't describe how much this will probably be the last time I post this about this. Also, this subreddit deleted both my previous updates, so a lot of you never saw what happened after the original post. Let me summarize it in the following paragraphs. So he did updates. For whatever reason, Reddit deleted it. Maybe it was too graphic for Reddit. I don't know. After the first conversation where I told that we were canceling the open marriage, my wife got aggressive, tried to connect me with her friend. When I rejected her friend, she left to stay with her parents for that weekend. So what happened to the woman who loves me so much and blah, blah, blah? She got aggressive when he said he wanted to close things. When she came back home, nothing was changed. I tried to talk, but she treated me like garbage. Something in me finally broke that moment, and I told her to pack her things and get out as I wanted a divorce. Nice job, dude. Okay, you're starting to redeem yourself a little bit. It's going to take a long time for full redemption, but okay, progress is important. She broke down, but I still told her to leave, and she left, and I haven't seen her since then. Good. He didn't fall for the waterworks. Okay. And a few more points for Hufflepuff or wherever the fuck he's from. After that night, I spent 3 days alone in the house. She kept calling and messaging, but I ignored her. Good job, dude. Going gray rock. I contacted a lawyer and told him to start the divorce proceedings. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, and she's the only woman I ever truly loved and still love her. Smack! You love who you think she is. And that makes sense. If this is the only woman he's really loved and been with and all that, this is all he knows. And no doubt when she brought up he was terrified of losing her, so this is a better option. I know a lot of people will call me weak or stupid for still feeling this way, but I don't care anymore. Well, dude, I'm glad you're getting rid of her, and I know you don't just turn things off like a light switch, but you gotta know the girl you loved is not who she is. Loving somebody deeply isn't a crime even when they hurt you. I love her and can't change that. That's bad, I know, but it isn't changing. It will change, but you need to open the door for that. You can't just be like, I'm going to be the better person here and not stop loving her. Has her actions demonstrated that she truly loves you? No woman that truly loves their man is ever going to do this to him, and let alone risk losing him to some other chick. But then I guess you probably knew that this guy wouldn't exactly have ladies lining up for him. My lawyer reached out to her. She called me after that, crying and begging the entire conversation. I can't even count how many times I almost said, screw it, let's try again, but I did not. Good. You're improving. Right now, we are in the middle of the process, and she finally accepted it. The house belongs to my parents, so she's not asking for anything. Thank God he's not losing the house. Her only request was that we keep the real reason private, and we agreed the official reason we're not getting along. You see that? She doesn't want everybody to know what really happened. You know why? Because that's going to make her look pretty darn bad to friends and family. So the old joke about the gals and accountability. But this guy needs to control the narrative. Otherwise, she could spin it in a way that he's the bad guy here, and he has to deal with all the BS of the court of public opinion. Some of our friends found out about the divorce and were completely shocked. A few of them tried to talk us out of it, but the decision was made. Bureaucracy is slow here, so the official divorce will take another 2 to 3 months. Newsflash, bureaucracy is slow everywhere. She left her job, moved back to her parents' house in another town, and now is looking for a job there. From what I can tell, she cut contact with the colleague. Otherwise, she would have stayed. I don't know. Honestly, I haven't seen her since that night. We just talk on the phone for some procedural things. Talk as little as possible. He's done a great job of not getting roped into things and falling for her waterworks, but he could still at the last minute fall for her crap. I left the house for an entire day when she came to collect her stuff. I didn't want to see her, not because I hate her, but because I would change my mind after seeing her cry. It's hard as just 3 or 4 months ago we were still a happy couple. Now this is what's left. I don't hate her. I just can't be with her anymore, unfortunately. Dude, happy couple. It sounds like the only so-called happiness is when she was getting her way. But no way in hell were you actually really happy during this whole thing. And I have a very hard time believing if she'd been talking about open marriages for years that she wasn't getting her kicks outside the marriage. This was just the first time she mentioned that guy, you know. And you brought that up about, is this your side guy? Come on, brother. You got a lot to learn, but you're making progress. The moral of the story, if there is one, don't open a marriage if you're both not truly ready. There you go. And if you're only doing it because you're scared of losing the other person, you're already losing yourself. Some doors, once open, cannot be closed the same way again. Take care of yourself, guys. You mean Pandora's box being open? Man, oh man. But he was 25 when he married her, I think. I think he said how the hell old is this guy? I think he said he's 31, so he got married at 25. Not crazy young, but still young. This is the only guy he's ever loved, so I'm guessing his first and only in serious love. Probably maybe the first one he ever slept with, I don't know. And look what happened here. You know, this is why guys need to get some experience and really have a level of self-esteem. Guys with self-esteem and true self-worth would never do this. The only way an open marriage or open relationship works is if both parties enter the relationship wanting to have an alternative lifestyle. They were both into it, no problem there. Okay, knock yourself out. But when you have a couple that was built, the relationship was based on monogamy, and then all of a sudden somebody, and I don't care who it is, the guy or the gal brings it up, this ain't going to work. But I do have a problem when a couple starts the relationship with alternative lifestyles and then have kids and does this with kids. I think it's a terrible idea. It's a disaster. I've done too many stories like that. But anyhow, this guy's got a lot to work on with himself and figure out why he agreed to this, you know, and it doesn't work. Every time it proves it. And I don't believe for a second that was the first time she stepped out. But anyhow, what's done is done. He's getting rid of her. Good luck, man. And there you go. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. If you like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.